Tonight was Trump's State of the Union address, and Democrats proved to be giant warmongers. So you know how the State of the Union address typically goes. Democrats sit there with their arms crossed. They look very disapproving. They don't ever clap. They don't cheer. They certainly don't stand. But there was one time tonight when Nancy Pelosi did decide to stand when Trump spoke. Take a look.
We are supporting the hopes of Cubans, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans to restore democracy. The United States is leading a 59-nation diplomatic coalition against the socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. Maduro is an illegitimate ruler, a tyrant who brutalizes his people, but Maduro's grip on tyranny will be smashed and broken. Here this evening is a very brave man who carries with him the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of all Venezuelans. Joining us in the gallery is the true and legitimate president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido. Mr. President, please take this message back to your family.
Yep, that's right. She stood for regime change, showing her hand, showing exactly what the Democratic parties, where they align with Republicans. And that comes down to war and regime change. There were a couple of other times when Nancy Pelosi clapped tonight, and it always had to do with some kind of war or foreign policy. Largely, they still sat, they disapproved. In fact, I want to show you this tweet that the DNC War Room tweeted out to show you exactly where they disapprove with Trump, which just still once again shows that they are also warmongers. It is not just the Republican Party, it's the Democrats too. Here's their tweet. Trump's failed to resolve foreign policy issues and manufactured new crises abroad. North Korea, no closer to denuclearization. Venezuela, Maduro remains in power. ISIS, resurging after Trump's abrupt Syria withdrawal. Iran, closer than before to building a nuclear bomb. So what does this tell you? Right here, when they say North Korea, no closer to denuclearization, that is them disapproving of Trump's attempted peace talks with Kim Jong-un. They did not believe that those should have happened. They thought that it was a bad idea. I don't know what their idea was exactly, besides, regime change, going to war. But they certainly didn't want to sit down and try to have peace talks. When they talk about Venezuela, you see exactly where they stand on this. They want regime change. They want to get Maduro out of there and Guaido in. ISIS, resurging after Trump's abrupt Syria withdrawal, they say. So what does that tell you? They didn't want us to withdraw from Syria. That's what that's saying. They don't want to end the wars. Look, there is never a good time to get out of a war, especially a war that didn't go exactly the way you planned. With Syria, they were hoping for regime change. They wanted to get Bashar al-Assad out of there. That didn't happen. And now the Democrats are screaming at Trump saying, oh, how dare you withdraw? Like, we're going to stick around. We're going to keep trying. We're going to continue to attempt regime change against Bashar al-Assad. For how long, guys? We're going to go 18, 19, 20 years like we have in Afghanistan? So they clearly are showing themselves to be all about war, all about regime change. The military-industrial complex is a serious problem. It has infiltrated both sides of the aisle. Anybody that sits there and thinks that Democrats are all about peace, think again, guys. When did Nancy Pelosi stand up tonight? She stood up for regime change. The DNC War Room tweets out that they too are for regime change, not just in Venezuela, but likely in North Korea and certainly in Syria. This is outrageous, guys, absolutely outrageous. And we have got to open up our eyes. We need peace. We need to end these crazy wars. There's no time to get out. There's no good time to get out. You just have to do it, unfortunately. Like Afghanistan, unfortunately, we've just got to leave. Yes, it leaves the people with the Taliban. We should have never gone in there to begin with. Rather than talking about sticking around and continuing to use our resources in these wasteful wars, we should be talking about not marching ourselves into new ones. But here they were tonight, all standing and cheering about potentially marching ourselves into a new one in Venezuela. This is the reality, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell. I often get demonetized when I talk about war and terror. Your support is definitely appreciated. The more I get the subscriber numbers up, the more they put the content in front of people. And that really helps us get this message out. Try to stop the brainwashing that's going on in our country. We've got to stop the brainwashing. Thank you again for watching.